hear some ASMR. You're welcome. Hi, welcome back to another video. So I first off want to start saying that I had no intentions of uploading this Speedpaint to YouTube because it is obviously the Procreate Speedpaint feature, and I personally don't like using it. One, because I usually don't put long hours into my pieces, so the Speedpaint ends up only being a minute or two, which is not a long time for a YouTube video. And two, I like being able to see the techniques that other artists use because you can learn quite a few things from other artists. I've definitely learned quite a few things from my artist friends doing live streams for us on our Discord server. But I think I just have to accept the fact that I don't think I'll ever be able to do that unless I figure out a way to get my iPad to connect to my laptop and screen record it that way, because screen recording lags the heck out of my iPad. And this piece itself was causing major lag, so I can only imagine how frustrating it would be if I were to combine the two. Not to mention, it is a pain to edit down hour-long videos on iMovie because you can only speed it up to a certain extent, and then you have to save the video and upload it back and forth. I did end up having to download another editor, so I do use two editors for my YouTube videos, because combining them both, they do exactly what I want to do without having a watermark from the program on my videos. But it's just, it's annoying. It's just annoying, and I think I just have to accept that I can never do it that way. And it's more practical for me to do it this way until, again, I get something to hook up my iPad to my laptop. Another thing I want to point out is that this was sparked from a joke tweet. I tweeted to Twitter this tweet, and then I looked at myself and I thought, hey, you're an artist. You can make this tweet a reality. Because one of my biggest complaints to myself as an artist is that I feel like I'm not creative enough because I just don't allow myself to see the potential in everything. So I was like, girl, you should draw that. And I was like, you're right. I should draw that. And then I did, and I'm very happy that I did, because I did enjoy working on this piece. I did go back multiple times to fix it up, because I was doing things that I wasn't used to, like, for one, the gradient map that I end up using at the end, because I had never used gradient maps before. And one of my friends, who's an artist, actually all my friends are artists, well, a good chunk of my friends are artists, was like, you should use gradient maps. And I was like, I don't know how to use gradient maps. But then I realized Procreate has gradient maps as a literal thing you can use, so I didn't have an excuse. And man, I'm in love with gradient maps now. Like, if you don't use gradient maps, you should absolutely start using gradient maps. I don't know how to use them in other art programs, but I know, because I did just say, Procreate has a gradient maps feature. Just please use gradient maps for your pieces. Also, this piece is like the epitome of, you're never done with your artwork, you just stop working on it, and dang, is that true. So because I wanted to use gradient maps, I knew that I was going to have to combine all the layers, and because I had never used gradient maps before, I didn't know how that was going to turn out. I was really worried of permanently ruining it, so I ended up saving a file that had all the layers up until that point so that I could go back and fix it. And there's like 8 different files in Procreate now of this one piece because I just kept having to go back and fix it and edit it. The biggest one would be the lighting source changing directions, because at first I had it facing both of us, and then I realized that's not really how that works. So I was like, I'm gonna change the direction, especially since it's supposed to be like the sun is setting. Having it change directions, I think, really helped the piece a little bit. Obviously, I'm still learning how to use light sources and shading, but it was a really fun thing, and I really do like it at the end of the day. Okay, now I want to move on to talk about actual Animal Crossing, because this is an Animal Crossing Speedpaint. I have to talk about Animal Crossing. So, I'm trying to pay off my debt to my house, because I have an upstairs, so that's like a million bells. A little more than a million bells. To pay off your house so that I can get a basement, and I was super close. I had 700,000 bells saved up, and then Nintendo decided to drop the update. And if you know, in that update, Harv's Island gets an extension, meaning you have 7 trailers of different NPCs that you can get access to. However, each trailer costs 100,000 bells to unlock. So I was like, do I pay off my house or do I unlock everything in Harv's Island? I ended up unlocking everything in Harv's Island. And I did end up rebuilding how many bells I have. I have 800,000 bells in my savings now. And it's kind of sad because looking at that, it meant that I could have paid off my debt. But then I realized, well, the only reason that I have that many is because I don't have any bells on me. Any and all bells that I get, I put directly into my savings so that I could rebuild that 700,000 that I originally had. And if I need to take out a few bells, I will. If I want to buy something, or if that golden thing that you plant bells in to plant trees comes out so that I can get more bells, comes back. So if I didn't pay off my debt, I probably wouldn't be anywhere close to it. But yeah, it's going to be fun because as soon as I pay off that debt, I'm going to be in more debt. Yay! Okay, now to move on to my island. So the name of my island is Mint Escape because my idea is that it's a touristy attraction. Except there's not really much of a touristy appeal there yet, but it's a work in progress. I plan to have an arcade, a little diner, I have a park, I have a pool. However, it's just really kiddie pools, a ton of kiddie pools, and maybe a carnival, but that might be a part of the park because I just think that'd be really, really cool. And I don't want anything big or extravagant because that would overwhelm me. I love the looks of other people's islands that have stuff everywhere. However, for me, it kind of overwhelms me. Maybe it's because I'm not familiar with the island. It's probably what it is. But just having something kind of everywhere and you being confined to just the path feels a little bit too constrained for me. So I need my space. And at the end of the day, I want my island to look like an island for me personally. Also, my island does have moats because another idea I had was islands of islands. Except only 3 buildings have it, and 2 of them are right next to each other, which are Able Scissors and Nook's Cranny. But it's cute because it's kind of like a little shopping center. And then Town Hall has one because my museum is on a cliff. There's no room for a moat there. And then I just didn't have the time nor energy to build a moat around my neighborhood. And then I realized it's right next to the ocean, and then I have a garden behind us, so there's no way for a moat to even fit there anymore. And the aesthetics of my neighborhood, it's actually one of my favorite parts about my island because it cost me a lot of bells to do because before my houses were all over the place, and then I was like, nope, you guys need to be right next to each other. But I think it's really, really cute. But yeah, one day I would like to dedicate to fixing up my island because there are flowers everywhere. Like everywhere you look, there's like a bed of flowers. And I'm not really looking forward to picking all that up because there's at least 200 flowers on my island. But yeah, one day I will get my island to 5 stars. Well, I don't really have much else to say, so you can enjoy the beautiful sounds of rain as the speed paint finishes. I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope to see you in my next one. Goodbye!